Board meeting to order Tuesday, April the 8th, 2025. We will begin with our roll calls. We call this meeting to order.
Joan Shepard.
Present.
Renee Richardson.
Present.
Kathy Washington. Absent. Davina Botter.
Present.
Lynn Thompson.
Present.
Pastor Eddie Lake.
Present. We will now have our invocation led by Ms. Renee.
Can I clarify?
Yes.
For the record, Mrs. Hardy called. She's not feeling well, so if we can excuse her absence, please, Chair.
Very good.
Thank you.
We will excuse. Okay. The invocation followed by a pledge of allegiance.
Please bow your heads. Lord, we thank you
Yes.
for this day and this moment.
Yes. Thank you, Father.
When our pastor asked that I do the invocation, it was hesitation, but I thank you, Jesus.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for this moment that we are able to gather together today, asking that you lead and guide us in the right way.
Yes.
Giving us the words to receive and to say. Lord, we asking that you cover this city, our leadership, and this board. We thank you for all of the people that are here in this room, in addition to online. Asking that you give us favor, lead and guide us, cover us. All of these things we ask in your name. Praise God.
Thank you,
Amen.
Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so very, very much for that fine prayer and the pledge of allegiance, and we will keep Ms. Hardy in your prayers. You have the agenda before you. We would need to entertain a motion to approve the agenda. But before we do that, everybody.
Look at you.
Oh, no question. No question. To God be the glory. All right, we'll receive a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Moved and properly seconded, we approve the agenda as presented. Ready for the vote? Let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. So as the order agenda is approved. Now, have you had a chance to look at the minutes? If you have, we will entertain a motion to approve the minutes for February 11th, 2025 meeting.
I move approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and properly seconded that we approve the minutes, February 11th. Ready for the vote? All those in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Minutes are approved. Now it gives me great pleasure to present our speaker from the Urban Chamber of Commerce, Volusia and Flagler, Dr. Kennedy Jacobs. And he has a brief video presentation. If we can run that right now, and then you'll come up right after that. And I want everyone to give him your undivided attention, but also take a look at this beautiful presentation that he sent over for us to glean.
Guys, listen, my mind is blown here at the Business After Hours with the Daytona Beach Regional Chamber and the Urban Chamber of Commerce. I've met some wonderful business owners. I've met some beautiful city leaders and the city organizations that are represented here tonight. And our city manager and also our mayor who has hosted this event. What a great success. Listen, I want you to know tonight, wherever you are, entrepreneur, business owner, we are trying to collaborate and build constituency to make a better community. So I pray tonight that wherever you are, that you will consider being a part of the Urban Chamber of Commerce. Listen, thank you once again to those who tuned in. Urban Chamber of Commerce of Volusia and Flagler County. Have a wonderful day.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. We turn it over to this visionary leader that I'm glad to be in connection with, and I'm proud of him and proud of the work that this community is doing through the vision of the Urban Chamber of Commerce. Welcome, Mr. Jacobs.
Greetings, and thank you, Mr. Chair, and to the entire Midtown Redevelopment Advisory Board. It's my pleasure to be here tonight, and I am elated over the invitation to come and to share our passion and vision and purpose for the Urban Chamber of Commerce of Volusia and Flagler counties. Tonight, I am accompanied by a few of our valued constituents and members of the Urban Chamber of Commerce. In addition, I've extended an invitation to community, leaders, collegiate enthusiasts, and beloved church community of which I am a part, which is Stewart Memorial United Methodist Church of Daytona Beach, Florida. My love for the community and its progress has stemmed over the past 50 years. As a youngster, I participated in one of the largest urban cultural events of our area called the Jabberwock, and many of you may remember that who have been here. It displayed some of the most talented and innovative entertainment in the Daytona Beach area and the surrounding counties. Business owners, community leaders came together to promote business, culture, and family life. Since those days, I have realized that we can never go back. We can never relive the past, but we can create a new future. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said these words: "We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope." The concept of the Urban Chamber of Commerce began with the task force of 15 business owners in early 2020. As founder, it was necessary to investigate the need of a chamber that can serve the needs of the urban community while building capacity in entrepreneurs, business owners, in addition to identifying the value that urban business leaders bring to an economy in one of the largest tourist destinations in the country, Daytona Beach, Florida. In 2021, the Urban Chamber of Commerce became a legal 501c6 non-for-profit organization in the state of Florida. Since 2021, the Urban Chamber of Commerce have patiently been assessing the community's dynamics and long history of business relations between corporate stakeholders, educational institutions, bank institutions, local business organizations, local business leaders within the urban sector. The problem presented was the vulnerability of local business constituents who were underserved, underrepresented, undercapitalized, in order to be competitive to the current business market that we have today. So the Urban Chamber of Commerce seeks to provide an elite resource ecosystem that supports entrepreneurship, development, new business guidance, business continuity planning and financing, financial literacy, community economics learning applied to achieve sustainable success through our restorative business practices. The program will be made available and accessible to all businesses in the three-county area that was recently affected by the two floods, the storms, and the decay that it brought to our area. The ultimate program goals of the Urban Chamber of Commerce is to establish a network of trained, knowledgeable, caring, professional business mentors, facilitators, and a supportive business environment that will cause small business failures to halt. Our objective is to strengthen infrastructure, retail, and provide adequate service providers to the needs of our community. As I prepared this presentation, I decided to ask AI about the statistics of Midtown.
Oh boy.
And AI came back. AI said the obstacles of the Midtown area include high crime, low income, dilapidated buildings, and it has a struggle of attracting customers due to the environment of the business community. It also talked about crime and safety. It said Midtown area has a history of high crime rates, which can deter potential customers and investors. It pointed out low income and economic challenges. The area has faced persistently low incomes, making it difficult for businesses to thrive and to attract customers. with disposable income. It also pointed out that aging and dilapidated buildings is a real problem. Many buildings in Midtown are old and in disrepair, creating a negative impression and potentially posing safety hazard. I guess AI has a camera on Midtown, I guess.
Yes.
Seasonal businesses, it says. Some businesses in the area are primarily focused on seasonal events like Bike Week, Biketoberfest, leading to periods of inactivity and difficulty in establishing a consistent customer base. It talks about limited parking. A lack of adequate parking can be a deterrent for customers, especially during peak times. It mentioned lack of investment for me, which is huge. Some business owners have invested heavily in their properties, while others have not, leading to a mixed landscape and a perception of neglect. Shuttered businesses. Empty buildings can create a sense of desolation and attract vagrants, further discouraging customers and investors. Community identity. The area's history as a historically Black neighborhood has been impacted by integration, urban renewal, and school closures, leading to a decline in community and a sense of loss. And then it speaks of lack of year-round business. Many businesses are only open during peak tourist seasons, making it difficult for residents and businesses to thrive year-round. A need for investment, and all of you at this board are very familiar with this. The city is looking for ways to invest in the area, including streetlights, code enforcement, activities to attract people, and let me add, redevelopment. Redevelopment plans. There are ongoing efforts to revitalize Midtown area with plans to expand the use of properties and bring new businesses to a place of new development. Let me talk about the Urban Chamber of Commerce for a moment. Our whole mission and objective is to revitalize the urban sector of Daytona Beach area into a thriving community with small businesses that flourish. That's one of the key things for many years, to see our businesses flourish, not fail, not close, but flourish. What is our vision? Our vision is to establish strategic partnerships through a network of resources, giving access and opportunity for entrepreneurs to have a sustainable economic growth. And that is what we seek to do, that businesses survive and that we create a thriving business community again. This will be accomplished through building collaborations with organizations, leaders with common core values, innovative approaches to make the greater Daytona Beach area and beyond a better place where families can live, work, and play. We have already established partnerships within our local area. First, with the Volusia Business Resource. We are now an MOU partner with the Daytona Beach Regional Chamber of Commerce. We have had partnerships with PNC Bank, and we are now a full member of the National Black Chamber of Commerce of Washington, D.C. We are committed to working alongside of this city and its city leaders to make a better community. One of the missions of the National Black Chamber of Commerce is this: to connect powerful network of national and international chambers, business leaders, those who are interested in expanding business from a local mom and pop to a global business arena. They're interested in places like Daytona Beach, and that is why we have partnered to make Daytona a better place. I want to come to a point, to a quote that Mother Teresa said. She says, "I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast across the waters a stone to create many ripples."
Yes.
I can't change it alone, but we can make ripples. The question I want to leave with this board tonight: if not us, then who? If not the chamber, then who? So tonight, allow me to leave space first and foremost. If there's any of my colleagues tonight that would like to share any input, I would like to give at least one or two of them to expand that if they would like. Then after that, I would like to entertain any questions from this esteemed board tonight. But thank you for the opportunity to present, and I leave the
Absolutely,
floor.
yes.
to anyone who'd like to
Yeah, we
share.
welcome you to come. And after you share, you can complete the form.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good
Bless you.
evening. Thank you, Dr. Jacobs, for an amazing presentation.
Absolutely.
My name is Lucretia Ramos. I serve as the office manager for the Urban Chamber of Commerce. And what brought me to the Urban Chamber of Commerce is that I'm a small business here in Daytona.
Okay.
Coming from Texas, immediately when I came in, I noticed a void. And I'm not the kind of person that'll just sit and watch things deteriorate.
Right.
I like to get involved and see how I can help. And that's exactly what God led me to do. I'm here just as an extension of everything that Dr. Jacobs just said, ditto. So thank you guys for the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Now, if you could grab, on your way to your seat, if you could grab one of the sign-in sheets, just go ahead and sign her information, and you can turn that in. So we'll have a record of you sharing today. Thank you so much. We appreciate this, Ramos. Yes,
Good evening,
yeah,
board.
pleasure.
My name is Chris Morant. Being a part of the Urban Chamber has been a great deal with us in our community. What Dr. Jacobs said, we are trying to enlighten other people to join what we're doing. My business is Roseville University. We are a second chance online school where we help student athletes play college football at the next level. As myself, I was a professional athlete, and my goal was to see young men to pursue their dreams after they finish high school. And again, thank you for allowing me to speak on the behalf of the Urban Chamber.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Brother Morant, if you can grab the form sheet, thank you. We have one more. And appreciate all you do at the university to help those young men. Greatly needed. How are you? Good evening.
How
Yes.
you guys doing tonight?
Doing great. Thank you.
I'm fine, thank you for asking. My name is Gene Govin. I'm a realtor for Adams Cameron Company here in Daytona Beach, as well as the land, Orange City, and the surrounding areas. And I met Dr. Jacobs actually, I'm an ambassador for the DeLand Chambers of Commerce, and I met him at a gala celebration. We spoke, met each other, introduced each other, and he told me of his vision and of the Urban Chamber, the things that he was bringing together, which also aligned with my vision and my goals as I was leading my business. There's an area of gap of home ownership, of lack of business, education, financing. It's like the forgotten void between the Speedway and the beaches, right? And that's a missed opportunity for the city, because when all the city's doing well, those cities' budget's doing well, and everything like that, crime is lower than it's supposed to be, and things like that. So I think with partnerships and networks that we've made, people that I'm helping to bring into the fold, there's mortgage brokers, there's business owners, battery pluses, and store owners. There's multiple people that we've talked to that about this urban chamber that it's lit a fire underneath them, so to speak. And with the current climate of things, I think it's actually needed. We need to stir the pot a little bit. We need to let everybody know that we're not forgotten, and that we will thrive, and we are here to stand tall in that mission. So I thank Dr. Jacobs for introducing me to this this arena right here, because I'm not used to this at all. You know, God bless you guys for doing this job, because we all know it's tough.
Absolutely.
Right? So with that, I leave you guys with the asking of you guys to just, hey, let us participate with you. We're not against you, we're with you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We're together. Thank you, sir. Mr. Gavin, before you leave, if you could make sure you sign the form for us. And Brother Jacobs, if he didn't, Dr. Jacobs, he doesn't have the match, I have the match.
You have the match?
There should be a lot of heat. Anyway, yes. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, I want to thank you all who shared tonight, but I also wanted to entertain any questions or comments that any of you may have, if that's appropriate.
Okay. Start with Mr. DeVito.
Good evening. So good to see you.
Good evening as well.
Thank you so much. I think
Very informative and very enlightening, and I'm impressed with the partnerships that you've accrued, and and what you're doing to promote the positive energy of the community, which, as you said, is often overlooked. And of course, with AI, we can see a representation of that. So I applaud you for all that you're doing with it, and anything that I can do, or or the rest of us, I'm sure, to ensure that things that there are more collaborations. I gladly do that. But very, very pleased to see the video as well.
Well, I want to thank you for your comments, and it's the team that's making it happen.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
That's right.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Excellent. Excellent. Ms. Shepherd, thank you.
Good evening, Dr. Jacobs. Thank you so much for coming in with the presentation. It's most appreciated.
Yes, ma'am.
You were speaking about AI, how you plugged that in, and it gave us, of course, things that we're already aware of and things that we would like to go ahead, that some of these things are under works to get rid of. My question is, did this AI plug-in give you any strong points that perhaps we can interweave or cross over into the weak points?
I think the strong point is that people power. One of the things that AI points out most importantly is that these are the issues, but it requires people power. And that's what the Urban Chamber, its constituents, is all about. For me, as one individual going into a community to say we need to change this, this is what drove me to do this, is that that power in voices, power in people. It is not the things we do, it is the people who care. And so I think what AI showed me was, it gave me a diagram of what needed to be done, but guess what was missing? The people.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, I take away from that, we need people who have that same common core desire that we do the changing and the transforming.
And while I personally have only peripherally heard of the Urban Chamber of Commerce, I have not been, closely, I haven't delved into it. So speaking from that standpoint, my question is what steps are the Urban Chamber of Commerce going to do to get the word out?
Well, let me say this to you. You didn't hear from us for a reason. I walked slow and I stayed low. And that was for a reason, for the research and to understand how to navigate the dynamics of this area. This area has operated in a way for many years. We're not the first urban or Black chamber that started. From my research, there was another chamber that started that did what? It faded away. And the only reason it did, we don't understand the dynamics in which we're walking into. I didn't understand the dynamics. And so for 2.5 years, I met with many city leaders, every chamber that exists, and we got consultation from around the country to try to figure out how do we move through the dynamics of Daytona and Volusia County area. So that's why we were low. That's why we didn't engage, because we had to understand what are we walking into and how do we build successful relationships. And that's why we did not basically go out and get running.
And get it out there, right.
Yes.
Right. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Shepherd. Ms. Richardson.
my first instinct is fire. It is fire.
Yes.
Today I was so full and so frustrated because I work for the Department of Children and Families in a new program that's Hope Florida. And we have been spinning our wheels, just trying to figure out how to be able to help people in our community.
Right.
And when I get ready to retire from that job, I want to be in the community. I want to do what your vision is, because that is my vision.
Yes. Yes.
And that is my passion. And you are the perfect person for that.
I hope so.
And however I can join, I want to join.
All right.
Because I have so many people that want to do entrepreneurship, but we do not know how to make the steps and the connections. And you have solved that issue and stuff. So I'm excited. I am truly excited.
Well, thank you
and
for that
truly
excitement.
honored. You and your brother, y'all
Yeah.
of my age.
Yes.
We came up together. I was there when y'all was dancing.
Yes.
So I know.
He used to dance?
Oh yeah.
Was he a good dancer?
What? Yes, both of them together. Johnny, yes. So listen, thank you. Thank you for just your vision. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for going out looking and putting something together. Because we need that. The Chamber of Commerce is fine what we have, but we need something that fits what we want to do as well. So this is absolutely an amazing bless today. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Richardson. I
All
want to
right.
just add something to what you said. I was at one of the board meetings of one of our mainstream chambers, and I was sitting in the room, and a lady was sitting next to me, and she leaned over to me and she said, "Sir," she said, "now don't you know that you need to do the Urban Chamber of Commerce?" Because there was no voice. We had no presence.
At the table.
We're business leaders,
So
and there was
true.
no voice.
Yeah.
And she leaned over to me, she said, "Son," she says, "you must do this." She said, "there is no voice." And so I agree to that. We are working together for that common goal.
Yes.
And she
Thank
too,
you.
she too is a member of Allen, so she's got the fire. She got some fire. She got
All
some
right, fire. All right.
We
Thank
got
you,
it.
too.
To God.
Appreciate it.
Mr. Thompson.
Good evening. Thank you for this.
Good evening. Good evening.
I would assume that the chamber can only be successful through advocacy and membership.
Yes, sir.
We'd like to have some collateral materials that you all have developed so that as we go about in Midtown, that we can make sure that every business in Midtown, starting with mine, will certainly become an active part of the organization. My father was one of the founders of the West Side Business and Professional Association, which in its time was a version of an urban chamber.
Yes, sir.
And it lived its life and it transitioned on, but I think that it's very appropriate and timely that we get involved with an organization like this that's coming up from the roots of Midtown and spreading around the county to align like-minded businesses so that we can become the force that this community needs to make change. So I commend you on it. And we'd like to have some collateral material.
Yes, and let me give you a website to start with. It's Business with the U, spelled all the way out. The word business, the word with, the word the, T-H-E, and the letter U.org. Businesswiththe.org. And you can scan it. And we're also on Facebook, Biz with the U, B-I-Z with the U, letter U.
And Mr. Thompson actually understated his impact and the impact of his father. His father was a treasurer at Allen for many years and a key leader for decades. So powerful. So
His father
that's
mentored
wonderful.
many of us.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's a great thing. And let me say this. Thank you, Mr. Thompson. I'm a member twice, and next time around when dues, we'll be a member 3 times.
Okay.
So maybe 4 pray. So there may be 4. So we'll pray about that one. But again, thank you so much. Now I will ask. Now I know there are hundreds of different AI platforms, and thank you for doing that. But the information is touching. It's frightening.
Yes.
But it also speaks to the fact that there are possibilities, and we still have hope to do what needs to be done. Now, 2 words that always stand out to me when we talk about these kinds of things: the underrepresentation and the undercapitalized when we talk about business and why this is so important. So again, we thank you for your leadership. Now, here's my question for you. What do you see in this impending partnership? What is your initial ask?
Well, the initial ask is, first of all, is capitalizing an organization that requires capital. In order to make change, it requires power. It requires ability to speak out. It requires ability to be able to shift and change things. That does not come without capitalization. And so, first of all, we help with capitalizing. Second thing is that we help with what we call collaborating with a common core vision. One of the things I found out in the 2.5 years that I've worked on this is that I went around the county and the city and says, if there is a 50-year plan from Daytona Beach Chamber, a 50-year plan from DeLand's Chamber, where is the 50-year plan for Midtown or the Black community? And to this date, it does not exist. So if we do not bring a community of business leaders and entrepreneurs who live within the community, who work within the community, to raise the voice and bring their vision to bay, then we have failed as a city, in my opinion. That every person has a right to what? Freedom of life and prosperity. Every person. And that's what I want to be a part of. that we bring a comprehensive group of leaders, and that starts with this Midtown board.
Absolutely.
That we are those feet on the ground, that as you sit in this board meeting, we're those feet on the ground that says,
Absolutely.
listen to this, you may not know this, interviewed over 75 business owners myself. I went down Mary Clyde Bethune and MLK and knocked on every business myself. And I talked to every business owner that would talk to me. So it's not something that we're talking, it's something that we put feet to the ground and try to meet people, real people, running real businesses, and that's what we try to do. So yes, we want to try to build a effective collaboration that we can help make transformation together. That's my prayer.
Absolutely, absolutely. So two things, two final things I would mention. The purpose of this board is to really, at the end of the day, we want to do two things. To address the slum and blight issues, but to also increase the tax base for tax increment funds so that we have something to reinvest back into the community. However, if we do not have the number of businesses and the number of homes in the community to generate those revenues that we need, it makes it very difficult to make the reinvestment that we expect to make. And so at the end of the day, the work that we do is to try to work with everybody in the community to see how do we, at the end of the day, with what we do with the programs that are available for homeowners, available for business owners, that on the back end of that, it produces revenue and an increase of tax base. And to my knowledge, the last time I checked, mid last year, there were only 27 businesses within the Midtown area that were paying taxes. So if that number does not increase, it makes it more challenging for us to make the kind of investments that we would like to see in the community. So we've got to find a way to work together to extend that. And in extending that, there are more opportunities for other businesses, but then working together, it creates an atmosphere and an environment for us to address the underrepresented and the undercapitalized.
Yes, sir.
So at the end of the day, we all can be blessed. And so that's a critical piece. Now, regarding the membership will actually be with the Redevelopment Department. And if I can ask Attorney David if he would speak to that portion so we have clarity on how a membership could work with the Urban Chamber.
So it would be the CRA that would be potentially joining the association, and so this board's authority under the Land Development Code, as granted by the Community Redevelopment Agency, is to oversee certain development applications and make recommendations to the CRA ultimately. And so I don't know that the board could specifically direct the CRA to join.
Okay.
But you could make a request that the CRA consider joining and partnering with the association. And so to the extent that the chair's looking to propose a vote tonight, it would be a motion to request that the CRA consider joining the thank you, Urban Chamber of Commerce. Thank you.
Okay, very good. I think that is what I would like to see happen. And so if there are any other comments before we
wanted just to acknowledge
receive a motion.
College students from Bethune-Cookman University.
Yes.
Brilliant minds. Would you all stand? And also FAMU University over there as well. So would you all stand? I wanted to acknowledge them tonight that came in.
And FAM,
They're
okay.
doing great work within our community.
Excellent,
And
excellent.
running business sector.
Thank you. Proud of you. Proud of you.
Thank you.
All right, board members, we would like to entertain a motion to request that the CRA would enter into
Mr.
the
Chair,
membership.
I would like to move that we suggest as strong as we possibly can.
Request, yeah.
That the CRA, right, will complete an application to become members of the Urban Chamber.
Okay. Is there a second?
I second it.
Moved and properly seconded
All right.
that we make the request for the CRA to become members with the Urban Chamber of Commerce. Are you ready for the vote? All those in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. So is the order. That will be our request to the CRA for membership. So you have our vote of confidence and support, and we will do all that we can to make sure that everyone prospers. This past week in Orlando, I was at our mid-year convocation for the AME Church statewide, state of Florida and the Bahamas, and our theme from Bishop Zanders was the power of team ministry. Together, everyone achieves more, and it takes a village, and we all have to work together. So again, thank you, Dr. Jacobs. We appreciate that fine presentation. As one of the leading pastors in the city and business owner, we thank you for your visionary leadership. We will ask staff that you will have anything that you'd like to say in regards, because I know they have a great passion. Of course, development for this community is there.
I just want to comment in general. I'm Michelle Tolliver. I'm a project manager here at the City of Daytona Beach. I primarily focus on Midtown. And Dr. Jacobs and I, as well as his brother, Mr. Jacobs, Keith Jacobs, we go way back. And this is just another step in terms of making a difference in Midtown. And I look forward to doing even more. And just for the record, I know I owe y'all a meeting. Yes. I'm not trying to ignore that. But we look forward to continuing to work with you in as many ways as possible. And this, again, is just another step in that direction.
Right. Thank you. Director Ken, Mr. Thomas, very good. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. We good. Was there a question? Was there a question? No? Okay. Oh, yes. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, Miss Ann.
You can ask your question. Yes. Yeah.
Ann Ruby, 137 Park Avenue. I just have a question.
Thank you.
I think, yes, thank you. I think this is a great new development, a great group. It'll be wonderful. I'm just wondering, do you guys have a seat on the Bike Week task force committees for Bike Week and Biketoberfest? Because I would think that would be appropriate.
Okay.
They review the Bike Week applications, and so that was my only comment, was I think that would be a spot for you guys.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right. Any response to that, Dr. Jacobs? Any response to that?
We will definitely follow up with that and find out what requirements that came to that. We have it participate.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. All right. Again, we appreciate the fine presentation. God bless you. Look forward to speaking with you soon. All right, that was wonderful. Thank you for bringing the fire and the thunder. We appreciate that. And as we continue to roll in that vein, we move to our next item, item number 8, staff reports. Captain Conde will come and share with us.
Great support. Yeah.
And he'll be sharing some of those specific statistical data within the Midtown area that Dr. Jacobs alluded to.
Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
Captain Leo Conde, Daytona Beach Police. From our prior meeting from March 11th until today, April 8th, these are the following stats for District 1. We've handled 2,545 calls for service, completed 690 reports, completed 105 felony arrests, 89 misdemeanor arrests, conducted 825 traffic stops, and issued 850 citations. The following are our Group A offenses. We had 7 aggravated assaults, 4 of which were cleared by arrest, with 3 remaining as ongoing investigations. We had 3 domestic aggravated assault investigations, 2 of which were cleared by arrest, with 1 having an active warrant. We have 6 domestic violence simple misdemeanors. These are all ongoing investigations. There were 4 sex offense investigations, all of which remain ongoing. 2 vehicle theft investigations, both which remain ongoing. 1 of the vehicles was recovered, and 1 was fortunately an attempt, and they were not successful. We had 9 burglary investigations, 4 of which were cleared by arrest, with 5 ongoing investigations. 2 robberies, all ongoing. We had 9 car breaks, and what I'd like to bring attention to is out of these 9 car breaks, 2 had stolen firearms. So we had 2 firearms that are now on our public roadways and our streets. Half of them were unlocked vehicles, and the other half were unfortunately forced entry. We had 2 weapons law violations, one leading to an arrest, and one remains an ongoing investigation. As far as some of our proactive efforts and some of the things we've done to help curb some of the ongoing blight as well as crime, since March 11th until today's date, we've completed approximately 961 extra patrols. One thing that we did initiate on March 10th is after 3 violent incidents that occurred unfortunately in the Midtown area, we organized a proactive uniform policing operation. Like I stated, it began on March 10th. So the thought process was we needed to be proactive as well as, reactive, unfortunately. So half of our job is split down the middle. But what we did is we selected one of our most proactive sergeants from one of the districts, and we actually selected 2 officers from District 1 and 2 officers from District 2, and we pulled them aside to just simply focus on these proactive operations. Between these 5, we've had 392 traffic stops, 405 citations. We had 29 felony arrests, 9 misdemeanor arrests. Unfortunately, we had 15 vehicles flee from us. We towed 23 vehicles. And as far as narcotics go, they seized 119 grams of fentanyl, over 1,000 grams of marijuana, 468 grams of hash, 946 milliliters of promethazine, 2.3 grams of MDMA, 3.8 grams of meth, 14.5 grams of cocaine, and seized $2,065. And as far as events go, from our last meeting, we did have the Turkey Rod Spring Car Show, which fortunately, did not have any significant issues. We were spread a little thin mid-March following Bike Week. We did have some mutual aid requests where we sent some officers down to New Smyrna, and we did have some unfortunate incidents in District 2 on Beachside during spring break. But fortunately, we push forward. Now, obviously, we have Beach, which is upcoming, beginning April 18th until the 17th. And all of our staffing is in order. All operational plans are completed. So we look forward to pushing through those following special events.
Excellent. All right. Any questions?
Yeah, the unfortunate shootout on State Road 44, that didn't bleed over to our area, did it?
We were very fortunate it did not. But because of the nature of the event and some of the visitors that do participate, we immediately put some preventative measures in place, between obviously our patrol officers as well as our investigative units. And we collaborated obviously with many outside agencies from the county to New Smyrna. And very fortunately, there was nothing significant that happened in our city.
I happened to be out of state, and it made the national news said near Daytona Beach,
Yeah.
And my eyes
I would say that.
Yeah, but I'm so happy to hear that.
Very good. Questions? Questions?
I do not have any questions, but thank you for your service.
I appreciate it. You're very welcome.
Yeah.
Good evening, Captain Conti. I'm just curious as to how many of those incidences that you reported on were had firearms involved.
Out of the 7 aggravated assaults, I believe 4 of them had firearms involved. The 2 weapon violations, those were definitely firearms involved, one of which were multiple firearms, and that actually occurred at 971 West Speedway at the gas station right by Speedway and Nova. There was been 1 firearm there. And then obviously now we have 2 car breaks, where firearms were stolen. Unfortunately, you never know in whose hands it's going to end up. So for those that are gun owners, please secure them.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
And I thank you as well. I don't have any other further comments,
welcome.
but very appreciate it.
Yeah, again, thank you, Captain Conde. Just 2 questions relating to the drug usage. In relation to fentanyl, what is the trend? Is it going up or trending down?
It seems to remain constant, unfortunately. I've never seen it as bad as it is. For me, this is a new world. Things have changed. When I first became a cop in 2006, you saw pills and you saw cocaine.
Yeah.
But as of late, the synthetic drugs, fentanyl and, those opiates, they're cheaper to manufacture and they're easier to import, which makes it difficult. So, you actually have some people that may have had a legitimate medical issue,
Right.
or maybe even sustained an injury, and because of the overprescription of opiates, they then develop an addiction, and then unfortunately it goes downhill from there. But it's something that we're consistently combating. The statistics as far as our overdoses fluctuate, but it is unfortunate. We everybody has to carry Narcan because you never know at what point you're going to use it.
Yes, okay. And then the last question is, what else could this board do in your, to assist in any capacity?
I mean, I think the biggest thing that we can do is collaborate together. Just as much as you serve the community of Daytona Beach, what can we do to work together? I think that you all take a significant stride as far as communicating, letting everyone know what the expectations are, at least passing information, obviously collaborating with, other organizations. Because what happens in Midtown and what affects the city in general, it's not always a specific crime problem. The economic challenges, the socioeconomic challenges, the medical challenges, narcotics. It's one huge problem that we play a certain facet to. But by inviting these organizations and they promoting growth and promoting business, that will overall improve or at least remove some of the blight. When you have the blight, you invite the crime. When you invite the crime, you obviously have more of a police presence. So I think just continuing the ball rolling, promoting growth and any type of, business collaboration, I think that would help. But, we appreciate your support as you give it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Keep up the good work, man.
Thank you.
All right. We'll move to our next item, code compliance. Ms. Kirk.
Good evening, Sarah Kirk, Code Inspector with the city. For the month of March, we had 11 total cases in the Midtown redevelopment area. 2 were vacant lot cases, 8 code cases, and 1 was a C-click fix case. There was a variety of different complaints, work without permit, tenant complaints, maintenance issues. And we're continuing to address complaints within the city. Does anybody have any questions or concerns?
Any specific?
I do, yes. Personally, and just in my neighborhood where I live at, and we've spoken before about this, a gentleman that lives next to me, he's now incarcerated for selling illegal drugs, but he's got pieces of plywood that he's attached to the back of his house with a blue tarp. It's not code compliance. When I tried to call code compliance about it, they told me that there's already a case against this gentleman, and that no other cases can be added. So how do I get around that?
I'm not sure.
The reason I say this, let me just interject, is because now there's rats.
Okay.
Oh my.
If you could, if you would like to send me an email or give me a call and give me I don't know if you want to let me know the address now, or,
I don't care. It's 22 Fulton.
Sorry, say it again.
322 Fulton. I want the rats gone.
I can look into it for you. I'm not sure who you spoke with when you called, but generally, if we take a case and we send it to hearing and they, we can't force them to fix it a lot of time, they get a fine, which results in a lien. But after a while, there are we can bring it back, before the code board. There are other routes we can take. So I will definitely look into that for you.
I was wondering why I was told I could not file a compliance complaint against him. You know what I'm saying? This was like a brick wall that I had. And 2 days later, SWAT was there, so.
Okay. Well, I will definitely, I'm not sure, who said that, but I will look into it. Do you have an email or a phone number I could call you? Or email would probably be better.
It's F as in Frank, L as in Larry, A as in Apple, M as in Michael, B as in Bravo, A as in Apple, the number 1 at yahoo.com. And my number is 386-333-2686. If I don't answer, you can leave me a message.
Okay, so I have FLA, M as in mouse, B as in boy, A as in apple, L.
That's the name of my company, Florida Medical Billing Associates.
Oh, okay, at Yahoo.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I will find out some information about 322 Fulton, and I will send you an email.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you
you.
all. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, continue to keep up the good work. All right, now we'll now receive our projects by our redevelopment project manager, Michelle Tolliver. Like the jackets?
Yeah, nice.
Mr. Chair, board members, I'm Michelle Tolliver, the project manager for Midtown. I just want to remind you of the flyers, and for me, the flyers are important because I always hear there is nothing to do in Daytona. And I gave you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I believe only 3 of these flyers are for a specific day. Maybe even 2. 2 are for a specific day. These 2, one is the Seafood Festival and one is the Community Day for Shiloh. These are the only 2 that are for a specific day. The rest of your flyers are events and activities that happen more than once. The Midtown concert series happens more than once. So it's not just one and done. This is a series of events for our residents, our visitors, and anybody else who wants to participate. And the other flyers are there on an ongoing basis. So if you ever hear somebody say there's nothing to do, tell them to call me. I'll find something to do.
Yes.
Because that's what I did. I walked down to Parks and Recs and I only wanted to get 1 flyer. And they have a wall full of flyers of events and activities that happen throughout the city of Daytona Beach. Some of them just happen to be happening in Midtown. So that's my spiel for those who say, because I used to say it, ain't nothing to do around here. Ain't nothing to do. Well, that means you ain't trying to find nothing.
Yes.
So my next item is the former Campbell Hotel, and I just wanted to bring you an update on that because there's really nothing other than we're waiting for additional decisions. So we purchased that property, which included a parking lot, building, and a small piece of land to the east, just a strip of land that we needed. We purchased that back in 2024, don't quite remember the date. And we're waiting for a decision by our commission to decide whether or not we want to keep the structure, or demolish it. And once we get that decision, I fought real hard, just a side note, I fought real hard for us to keep the structure, Ann. But we've received a structural analysis that tells us that even if we want to keep the structure, it is going to have to be brought up to code, which means everything about the property, including the elevation, will have to be brought up because it's in a flood zone. So after that assessment, and we met with the building official and the demolition inspector, and they advised us that if you really want to put some money into the property, you're better off rebuilding. And that really hurt my feelings. It really did. And even then here, I'm trying to smile and I'm trying to laugh.
Right.
But according to all things that we've gotten professional advice on many levels, it does not look, and I don't make that decision, I'm just saying what the facts are. It does not look like the building is going to be saved unless there is somebody listening on the internet or somebody we know who can come up with some quick money to keep this building. It does not look like we're going to be able to keep it.
Wow.
Because it's a matter of money. It's not a matter of whether or not we want to, spend money on a new building. It's just a matter of being practical, but that's not my decision to make because if the elected officials say keep it, that means I'm going to have to put on some running shoes and I'm going to have to put on a t-shirt and I'm going to have to go find some money. But that's the update on the former Campbell Hotel that we now own. Yes, sir.
How old is that building?
Wow. I do not remember the date.
Gotta be 70 to 80.
It's in the assessment.
1950.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least
Yeah,
70.
the building was
70
built
years old.
1950.
It's not quite 100 years old, according to what we talked with Pastor Lake about. Yeah, it's not in that 100-year age.
About 75
Okay,
years.
1950.
Maybe. If it's 1950, what about 75 years or something?
Where's it located?
It's it's right at the corner of Walnut and Dr. Bethune Boulevard. It's right at that corner. It's about a 2-story building, right on that corner.
That
What
restaurant.
were the
You know where?
potential plans for it?
Mixed use
Okay.
with some retail on the bottom and a story or 2 or 3 of residential.
Okay.
Whether we keep it or not, that's the goal. Yeah. So y'all say, I know we can't mix politics and crap, but y'all send a word.
Part of it designated as a historical site, thereby saving it.
That is always a possibility, but in doing that, to preserve the structure, because if the structure is going to be historic, you still have to spend money. And whatever we do, it's going to cost money. If you demolish it, it's going to cost money. If you keep, it's going to cost money. It's just that the cost to keep it is,
Substantial.
who knows? It's going to be right there with the cost to rebuild. So that's a decision for the elected officials and not for me. I provided them through the city manager with the information they need to make decisions. So, but Ann is a proponent of historic
Yes.
structures, and I just wanted her to know that I'm not the one trying to throw it away. I'm trying to preserve it.
Yeah.
So unless you all have additional questions, I'm going to move on to my next item,
Good.
which
Thank you.
is the what's my next item? It is the
Design.
Catalyst Design Group. So we've started, and I don't like to say this because I don't like to compare, but we've started a process on the beach side to make improvements to the roadway along Main Street, and we're going to use the same company to do a very high level or high expectation. It's going to knock it out the park, basically. A streetscape design for MMB. And we're going to start at Nova Road. And for those listening who don't know what MMB is, it's Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune Boulevard. We're going to start at Nova Road and we're going to go all the way down Charles Street, right before you get to the railroad tracks. And we're going to do a roadway improvement that includes decorative lighting, landscaping that includes trees and planters, and we're not talking about the little pruny trees that's out there now. We're talking some real trees because we're doing a high-level, very expensive streetscape. And the reason I know that is because we already have plans in the preliminary phase for Main Street, and you don't have a different group of people doing it. You have the same people. Angela Armstrong, who's the project manager, is taking the lead on it, but you have Angela at the table, me, as well as our boss, Ken. And we're doing the same type of MMB. So it won't be them against us. It's one city, one dream, one vision. So it won't be upscale on one side and the remnants of what's left on the other side. We don't operate like that. We operate within doing what we can based on our budget. And we've not gotten to the dollars yet on the project that we started on the beach side. But along with lighting, decorative lighting, landscaping, we're going to increase the width of the sidewalks because we want to create a walkable community for pedestrians so that we can increase the number of street festivals, which means we are looking at closing off MMB more than just Bike Week and Biketoberfest. Do they even close it off? No, they don't.
No.
They don't close it off. We're looking at doing events on the street that involves closing off the street. And in order to do that, you're going to have some electrical outlets, which would be a part of this, or underground utility work that will be a part of this streetscape.
Very good.
Along with more annual events. We're also planning a roundabout at Dr. Bethune Boulevard in Lincoln as you're approaching the campus. Whether it's popular or not, we've talked preliminarily with the university, and we would close access off to the campus on that end. You would not be able to drive through the We call it the setup and what we call
The
it.
yard.
The yard.
The yard. So y'all call it something
Wait,
different.
the yard.
But
Yeah, the
you wouldn't be able to
yard.
drive through the yard
Yes.
anymore, which may or may not be popular. And then on the other end of MMB, at MLK and MMB, we're going to allow only one-way access into the campus for university business only. So you'd be able to come onto the campus that way, but you wouldn't be able to cut all the way through anymore. And that's being done for a majority of reasons. One major one is being safety.
Yeah.
Pastor Lake pointed out something that I've not mentioned to Ken yet, but he'll either tell me to be quiet later or nod his head. We don't want the signage a year or so ago, and we want to try to incorporate some type of signage at ISB and Nova Road that welcomes you to Midtown. So we're going to try to wrap that into this, and if not, it'll be a separate project that we do totally on our own. But it just seemed fitting to try to do some type of signage right at I. And Angela, this, my people are something else, because the first thing I thought is, y'all always doing something on MMB. What y'all gonna do on MLK?
Right.
Yeah.
So, roadway improvements along Dr. King Boulevard is a plan that we plan to do as a time frame for that, because we're doing something that you've not seen before. The winter parks, and there's a list of other places that have top tier streetscape projects, even above and beyond what has happened on B Street. We see further than that. So this is not a low dollar budget. This is something that's going to cost money, and we have to make sure we can do it. So if I stood up here and say we're going to do MLK, we're going to do MMB, we're going to do Orange Avenue, we're even going to do ISB, can't do that, because everything has a budget, and you can't do it all just because it needs it. We have to start somewhere and make our way through. But we're going to start on Dr. Bethune Boulevard.
Beautiful.
And that's my update on.
For me. Number one is Daytona side, reach up to our starting point there at the railroad tracks.
No, the
So it's gonna
project.
be looking up.
Well, let me say this. What I'm presenting to you is Midtown. So what Beach Side is doing is they're going from the bridge. Thank you. From the Halifax River on the other side of the bridge, there's a sign. That's why it's throwing me off. So at the river, you're going over the Main Street Bridge. That river, when you come off the bridge, all the way back to Ocean Avenue. That's right before you drive on the beach. So there's another CRA that's called Downtown at Fairview, at the bridge, and it goes all the way to the tracks. There you go. And that's the connection. So I haven't presented that board, but that's part of the plan as well, to connect all of the CRAs along that MMB stretch, and then you curve over and go to Main Street.
My second question, this SB, you see it doesn't have to be that.
I know, but that's the goal of what we're pointing out when we talk with Pastor Lake about the ambiance and the presence. When you arrive in Midtown, we want it to be we want AI in 2028 and 2030 to come up here, pull up some AI then, because right now we have goals to make improvement. Thank you, Ms. Shepherd. I like the way you think.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
I want to, make it a subset of what they're doing. Do it now.
And you know what we also need to sign? But because just like Dr. Jacobs said, or maybe it was the Adams Cameron man, the gap between one part pass through Midtown to get to the beach. You have to, when you leave the airport or one Daytona, you have to pass through us. So it's an investment. And that'll happen. It's all about money. Like my boss always say, it's only money. It's only money. Yes, ma'am.
It's only money.
And at the meantime, just me.
Melissa, are you listening?
But we need their investment beyond just right in front of the speedway. We need it to trickle all the way down, International Speedway. So hopefully that will happen before I'm old and gray. I'm already gray. So and last item. Yes, sir. No problem.
With the beautification project, will that be done simultaneously with? There's some buildings, in downtown. When you cross the track, it's a slew of buildings between there and Ridgewood that need some help.
Yes.
I could just use it that way. And there's some on MMB that still need some help. So can you just tell me, Ken, if you could, is there a strategy there to how we not put trees and lights, because that's only going to illuminate the bad shape of some of those buildings. So, I mean, from a comprehensive standpoint, could you just give me a nutshell on how does this work?
Part of it is just like every development, the willing business owners who want to update and upgrade their properties, that's going to happen. For those who don't, we're going to code enforce them, because I'm the conduit between what we say and what we do. And we already, when Ken came on, established a regular relationship with Public Works, the police department, and code compliance. So that relationship was set soon. It was a little crazy, I really did. But it made sense because of what you're saying. A lot of what we want can't happen without police, where you're not going to be blatant and obvious with it. And the same with code enforcement. We have some, but as the code compliance officer says, that's so ineffective. It doesn't produce what we want. We're forcing them to improve their properties through code enforcement. Part of it is at some point, they're going to have to do something, whether it's by choice or by force. Yeah. But that's all a part of it. Is the clean that they do now to MMB increased because it was asked by the redevelopment director. They didn't do it on their own. Why didn't they choose to do it for themselves? I don't know the answer to that, but we can ask for additional cleaning during whatever time it happens. And if they don't put it in their budget, let us know. And we'll try to figure out how to do that. But we're working hand in hand with all three of those because it's all a part of cleaning up. And we just can't do the streetscape without taking care of the structures and the people who don't make it look as good as wanted to. Any other questions on the streetscape?
That's good. We're looking forward to it. Yeah, exciting, very exciting.
Great.
So thank you for those.
My last item is a bill that is out. It's a House Bill 991 and a Senate Bill 1242. This will not allow us funding for any new projects and or improvements as of July 1st if it passes. This is a bill that is being discussed now up in Tallahassee. It's not going to be money that's going to be directed to the CRAs. It'll come in the general fund for the city. So this is information for you. So far, these two bills have passed two committees and they need to go to a Senate Rules Committee next. And from what I heard our city manager say, because I haven't had a lot of time to read, the author of this bill, he questioned a lot of CRA spending that was going on in South Florida and up in the panhandle of Florida. Some of it was spending on items that he didn't think was appropriate. So we're looking to, and as of today, and then I'm gonna go back to that, but as of today, both bills do not appear to be on the calendars for the respective chambers this week. The Senate Rules Committee met today and the Senate bill was not included on the agenda. The House Commerce Committee met yesterday and the House bill was not included on its agenda. The last date of committee meetings is April 22nd. Basically, they have 2 more weeks to get bills out of committee. The legislators may run out of time in this session to make a vote on this.
Yeah, I hope they do.
And just so you all know, the city of Daytona has 5 CRAs that sunsets in 2036. And if this bill passes, all of this excitement we're doing, it kind of fizzles out.
Yeah.
Because it requires that revenue from taxes to come to us in the Midtown, in the beachside, in the downtown to do projects like this and make improvements. And we still have plans, whether the bill passes or not, we're still going to try to expand the boundaries for Midtown as well as the other CRA in downtown. And for all of our CRAs, we'd extend sunset date. And that's just information for you all to know. What I should have done was kind of do my email campaign sooner, but I'm only me. I'm only one person.
Right.
But I'm bringing you that information, so just keep that in mind when it comes to funding for the CRA.
So in these bills, are they suggesting that the funding will be cut before the sunset dates?
Yes,
Prior to?
as of July 1st, 2025. Any money collected would not go to the CRA. It would just go to the general fund for the city of Daytona Beach.
Yeah, that would not be good at all.
And that's if they pass it, though.
That's if they
If
pass.
they pass it.
Weeks to pass
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
We're gonna
So we
keep
pray
our
they would run out of time.
And
Yeah.
prayer.
And pray.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Senator
Tom Ray. Yeah. I'll look at those. Look at those. Look, Bill.
Yes, I got
Yeah.
that
We
on
email
here.
that away.
Tom Ray.
Yeah. Okay.
Senator Tom Ray.
Good. Very good. All right.
It's House Bill 991 and Senate Bill 1242.
1242.
Wait a minute, and the Senate bill?
The Senate Bill is 1242.
And House was 91, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Senator Wright.
Yes.
Yeah. Very good. All right. Thank you so much. That's enlightening.
Yep, you are welcome.
Gotta jump on this
Yes,
right
thank
away.
you. Yeah.
All right. Appreciate you. Excellent. Now we will move to our presentation, the spotlight on Midtown, but I don't think Ms. Bonnie here nor Pierre, so we will move to the next item. Is there any old business that we have on the table? Nope, old business. Any new business on the table? Nope. Okay, we'll now move to our next item, public comments. Mr. John? And Miss Ann, you have, you don't have any? I don't want.
Good business. John Nixon, 413 North Fairview Beachside. My very first topic was what you just discussed, CRA.
Very good.
I was afraid that you all were not going to be told that the money would kind of vanish. It's important that you know about it ahead of time
Yeah.
so that you can do something. It's really bad to say, oh, well, we knew about it, but we didn't tell you, and tough. You guys went through that.
Good.
You had $1 million in your CRA bank account, and nobody told you until after Jim Chisholm decided to spend it. Then he said, oh, didn't I tell you you had $1 million bucks? And they used it on Orange Avenue. But all that time, nobody knew that the money was sitting in your bank account. The second thing is, Mrs. Tulliver made a comment about the Speedway and how it looks. She didn't mention that they pay extra taxes to have it look like that. So all the businesses on ISB have to fork over money to maintain that. So I'm not quite sure you can get your businesses to fork over extra money. So not everything comes free. There's sometimes you have to pay for it. And I have a problem with the mayor. He's been putting affordable housing, so he says, for the last 13 years. All right, 12 years ago, I never heard him say a word about it. But I took a drive through Midtown. There are probably over 1,000 residential lots that do not have homes on it. All right, there are probably 150 or so larger lots that you could put duplexes, sixplexes, or whatever. You've got 3 locations in which you can put apartment buildings, all right? And the mayor said absolutely not. He doesn't want any of the affordable housing built in Midtown. He wants it built throughout the city. Because to him, affordable housing would be what he called a ghetto. And he doesn't want a ghetto in Midtown. So my view is that you do want affordable housing in Midtown. You want every single one of those lots have people living in it because your businesses relied on people being there. And when the people move out, the businesses leave with them because they don't have enough people buying from them. Like the mayor comes in, his daughter's in gymnastics on the beachside. So he'll stop for ice cream on the way back. So once a week, where he stops, gets 2 ice cream cones. That's not enough to keep somebody in business. You need volume. That's why I'm recommending to you guys to ask, which is what other cities are doing, is apartment buildings on your major roads. MMB, MLK, 3 and 4 stories, high volume. So those businesses on those streets, because people will shop close to home. And if you want your businesses to succeed, you need bodies. So I'm asking that you think about the idea of infill. Jack White's been pushing that for years for downtown. They need apartments, they need bodies downtown to support their businesses. If it applies to downtown, it applies to Midtown as well. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Let's see.
Okay. All right, thank you. Ann Ruby, 137 Park Avenue. Definitely would urge you all to write to Tom Wright and have all your friends and family write too, because Tallahassee is right in the stage of trying to take more and more control away from the cities, and we don't want to lose that control.
Important.
You know, we're kind of in the start of something big here, and I think it would be great to have us have the opportunity to finish it. On that note, I know that we've used Catalyst Design Group. I also would hope that maybe we'd consider talking to a group called Place Economics. They basically are a group that advise on how to take your historic properties, historic neighborhoods, and the way I phrase it is monetize them. How do you preserve them and make them make money for you, make them stay alive as historic neighborhoods? Because, you know, it's great to have a lot of new things, but we do need to preserve our old neighborhoods, and because some of them, they're nicely human scaled. You know, we don't need another Brown and Brown headquarters somewhere else in our neighborhoods. We just don't. You know, we need things to stay human scaled and pleasant and lovely. And so I would hope you guys would use Place Economics at some point. And then I'm going to let Sandy comment on what John said. Infill housing on those lots. We could do more than single families. It would be great, but I'll let Sandy comment on that. Thank you all.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will consider, yes, absolutely.
Good evening,
Thank you.
Sandy
Good evening.
Murphy, 136 Park Avenue. John and I have a long-standing disagreement about affordable housing and what it means. And I just wanted to come up and say that affordable housing means different things for different people. But uniformly across the country now, the trend for funders is to say, we're not doing a low-income housing. We're not ghettoizing people. If you want to do a housing development, you have to come up with a way to make that affordable to a mixed
Absolutely.
group of incomes. And that way you're bringing folks who have disposable income, who can spend that money in your community. And, you know, it's just, that's the way that things are going. It's the way that things will probably continue to go if we continue to get federal money at all
Yes, yes.
at this point. But
Yeah,
that's
key.
it's just really important to understand that it doesn't mean one thing, it means many things. And bringing affordable housing into Midtown could be a great opportunity, especially if you get private sector developers, because you have so much property. You know, we have church after church, but we don't have that tax revenue coming in from those parcels then. And so the more private development you can encourage of almost any type,
Absolutely.
you know, is desirable. And then the only other thing that I would comment on is that I've been talking about this for many moons now with the Campbell Hotel. If nothing else, preserve that sign.
Yes, yeah, that's definitely an option, so thank you. And in regards to the affordable housing piece, let me just say, yes, one more statement, yes.
Yes, and asked me to add one more thing. Something that the city commission has touched on but hasn't really acted on is allowing homes with smaller footprints to be built in our neighborhoods. And many of those infill lots in Midtown don't allow standard construction under the guidelines that we have now.
Right.
But if smaller homes were allowed, we could fit more, you know, a greater variety of homes in a greater variety of places. So that's something that if, when you talk to your commissioner, you might want to consider advocating for a wider variety of home sizes being allowed.
Yes, right now, that's a major concern. And with the, even the cost of affordable housing being at $230,000, it's not that affordable. But until we address those variances that are needed, various sizes and shapes, I think that's going to continue to be an issue. Now, one thing that I will say is that I don't think we need to have any other resources coming out of the CRAs because what we do, I think, is sufficient for that. And I'm thankful to the City Commission for approving the Affordable Housing Trust Fund a couple months ago. And now the concern is now how do we create a dedicated funding source? With the Nexus study, I think it's $1.84 a square foot, but we need it to be 20% of the recommendation minimum. The minimum is $7. The recommendation we would like to see is $4.80 per square foot to provide $4 million per year to help us reach the goal of 1,500 units within 10 years of affordable housing. So it's all order, but until those types of variances take place, it's going to be difficult to do that. And so they're going to have to be a variety of ways, but it's not going to be able to come through this TIF. It's just not. Yeah, it would be too much debilitating work's already in progress. So we have to find other solutions. But it would be nice to have a dedicated funding source for the Housing Trust Fund to help meet those needs and to address those variances. Has to be a part of that. So thank you for that. We'll take that in consideration. Appreciate it. All right. That is all our public comment. Any board comments you have? We'll start with you, Dr. Bonner.
I think everything tonight has been so informative, and thank you so much for letting us know about the bills and also just the presentations. All of them have been very forthcoming and very pertinent, especially to what's going on now. And I think that it encourages us. Still, there's hope, for some positive moves, some positive steps that we can take, whether it be through the Urban Chamber, as well as the other redevelopment projects that you shared, Ms. Tolliver. I think that it gives us some insight and hope about, work to continue to do. So thank you.
Sandy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ms. Shepherd, I'm sorry. Ms. Shepherd.
I'm so sorry.
Yes.
I was deep
Ms.
in thought.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to hear about the Urban Chamber of Commerce. And I think that if they get a plan together, I think that that'll be their next step. And I think that's such a wonderful thing. Also, Ms. Tolliver, thank you so much for bringing, that presentation about the trees and the shrubs and the beautification of MMB. It needs it very, very badly. I think that that'll spur growth in businesses coming back, all the shuttered businesses that are there. I look at some of them as I drive down there every day, and I still don't see where some of them are coming along like I hope they would. That's just a personal thing for me. But other than that, the information was very useful, and especially with Senator Tom Wright. Going to give him a jingle.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you.
For
Yes.
me, tonight was very informative, and the information that was provided by the Urban Chamber of Commerce, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm also excited about what's up and coming for our area with the staff. You guys are doing an amazing job. Just to have that vision of what's coming. I'm truly excited. Count me in any way that I can to be, helpful, to even door to door, knocking on doors, whatever we need to do. So I'm truly excited, and thank you for all that you do. My last thing, affordable housing. However it comes, we need it. We need to have people that are able to afford where they are. And that's my last thing.
Mr. Chair, can you share with us, Ms. Richardson, the home?
So I think about a week and a half ago, Mrs. Husseini, or Miss Husseini of Homes Bring Hope had a lot of the commissioners, the mayor, Our agency, we are partnered with her, and they did, or she provided 6 homes. She built 6 homes from the ground up on one street, and they said that the city, school board, Volusia County School Board donated lots that are going to be more homes for the staff that work, whether you're a bus driver or in the cafeteria or a teacher for Volusia County schools. So these homes are for working people that are affordable. It can be done. It can absolutely be done. And it was amazing to walk through those homes. They were beautiful. The families were very thankful. However we can partner with her, however we can partner with anybody that has that knack that we can pull together. We need to be able to do that. It's a vision, and people, when you are provided a roof over your head and you don't have to sleep in a car, or your children don't have to sleep in a car or in a shelter. Not saying a shelter is bad. That's a stepping point. We need to make sure that we provide that extra support for families. So it was amazing. It was exciting, and I am absolutely just thrilled.
Miss Richardson, did you drop a tear like I did?
I did. I did.
Yes.
Absolutely, I did.
Yeah, I think that's remarkable. Now, would
Yes.
she be interested in coming to share with us? I would love to invite her.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, if you could.
Absolutely, absolutely. She is a phenomenal woman, leader in the 32114 area, even outside of the area. She is a dynamic person, and yes, absolutely, she would love to do that. I know she would.
More
She has a
options
lot.
and variations we need.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be
Absolutely.
great. Excellent. Thank you. Thompson.
Glad to see y'all again after a month off.
Yeah.
You know, I missed y'all.
We missed you.
Because it is so fulfilling to hear the progress of the projects. Even the cautionary tales that we hear from, like you brought up today about what's going on in Tallahassee. It is truly a blessing to be able to be a part of this. And to the staff, I just say keep doing what you are doing, because I'm with you, and whatever you need from me, I support every initiative and everything that you do to make our city what it can be. We applaud, and we're going to get on board with you.
Right. Excellent. Thank you all so much. I think it's been a productive meeting. Appreciate your insights and the presentations that we made. And so that concludes my comments. Just great job. Job well done. Keep up the good work. And let's know how we can do even more. And so the next item, a meeting recap and different follow-ups. And for the next meeting. Yes.
I don't have anything to add for the follow-up section, but if you will allow me, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
We have a new staff member in our
Yes,
department.
we do.
And I meant to do it while I was standing there.
Okay.
But Emily
Miss
Garinger,
Emily. Yeah.
she's our new office specialist 3.
Hello.
And if I must say so, she is already phenomenal. She just started on what's today? Last Monday.
Yes, I was in
And
here.
she keeps coming back.
Keep coming back.
And we have a lot. I mean,
Yeah,
she can
yeah.
speak for herself, but
Okay.
this is no cakewalk.
Right.
And most of the ladies that I call for the interview, I say, this is not a job where you sit and twiddle your thumbs.
Right,
And if that's
right.
not the kind of job you can handle,
Right.
you don't have to accept the interview.
Okay,
I understand.
okay.
But she keeps coming back.
Is that
Her
right?
resume was impressive, her
Wonderful.
interview was impressive,
Okay,
and her job
good.
performance. And I know she's been here since last Monday,
Yeah.
but it has been impressive. And we want to
Wonderful.
welcome her to the
Yeah,
team
we
in the
welcome
city.
you. We welcome you. Job well done. Look forward to working with you. And we pray God's blessings over you, and hang in there and be encouraged. You can make it.
Come back.
Yeah, to God be. Thank you so very, very much. And so we will just the follow-ups I know regarding the motion for the request to the CRA.
Absolutely.
And various, yes.
Yes, and I've already set up a follow-up meeting with
Dr. Jacobs.
Pastor Jacobs and his brother, because we're working on some other initiatives.
Right.
There's a lot. I keep saying I'm going to bring a list of projects. I'm going to do it next month, because next month is my birthday month, and
Oh,
I'm going to
birthday
do
month. Bless your
it.
heart.
I'm going to do it, because even the properties that we're talking about, just because you see a vacant lot does not mean that it's not being developed.
Right.
Because vacant lots don't have addresses, they have parcel IDs.
Right.
And we have donated, and I might have said this already, but I'm gonna say it again, John. We have donated 22 lots. 1, 2, 3. 3 of them are not in Midtown. So that's a lot of infill lots, and we still have a lot more to go because we're not in triple digit yet or quadruple digit yet, but slowly but surely. And I am definitely on the follow up. Absolutely, I will follow up with the membership for the urban chamber.
Yes.
As long as I get permission from the city manager and the
Absolutely.
boss.
Okay, very good.
Yes, sir.
Very good. And you will follow up, Ms. Hussein?
Yes,
Yeah.
do that.
And we'll backtrack to you all to see if that's.
And I did want to note, I apologize for interrupting, but
absolutely.
if any individuals on the board do intend to join the urban chamber, I just encourage you that if there are any items that come back before the board in a quasi judicial setting, you get with me beforehand just so we can make sure there's no kind of conflict that would preclude you from voting on that item.
Very good. Nope. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I believe that is it. Our next meeting will be the second Tuesday of the month of May. So, we adjourned. Thank you so much. Appreciate everybody. Yeah.